Hello, Facebook, and welcome to Dollars and Cents, presented by Visions Federal Credit Union. We are live here at the headquarters in Endwell, New York, and today we're bringing you credit. All about credit, tips, tricks, some education, midweek. I, as always, am your host, Chano, and today we are joined by, once again, Kayla Fetish, our assistant academic relationship manager.
You got it.
Got it. Hit that one. I was a little bit worried about getting that title, but I got it.
It's a long one.
Nailed it. We're also with our man behind the scenes, Micah. Welcome. Micah, thank you. And actually, I think we got a little special treat here today. Micah has a big birthday today. So everybody out there, make sure you comment, happy birthday, Micah. Happy birthday, Micah. And actually, happy birthday to the man whose flowers these are.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the owner of these flowers and kindly donated to them to the show today. And that's Mr. Alex Cunit, who's actually your manager, I believe, right?
Yes, he is.
He is the academic relationship manager.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Well done. Oh, shout out Micah, shout out Alex, shout out Scans, shout out the Flowers, Visions, Facebook peeps. Remember, keep commenting any questions you have. And credit, are we ready?
We're ready.
We're ready. Credit, Kayla, what's the first thing we could say about credit?
Well, credit is I would say the measurement of your financial trust. Credit is what financial institutions look at to, determine your worthiness for a loan. And it's made up of 5 different components. And, these components impact the score.
Mm-hmm.
We like to tell the students this is basically a report card
There you go.
of your finances. So these different components create a score that is ranged from 300 to 850 depending, and that's what it's made up of.
There you go. Well, second question, because credit score, and then there's also credit reports.
Yes.
So what would be the exact difference between those two?
Yeah, so your credit report is the history of everything that you have taken out as far as lines of credit, credit cards. Sometimes you get a medical bill or a Spectrum bill, a cable bill can get thrown on there. So any type of loan or line of credit that you have taken out remains on that credit report.
Okay.
And that's how you determine your score. So depending on the length, there's derogatories that can get put on there.
Mm-hmm.
But this is your complete history. And this stays with you through your entire life.
Right.
So, it's averaged out continuously based upon what is open, what is closed, what is active, the history of it, payments, things like that.
So there's a lot of different things that come into play.
Things, yeah.
Which is good to learn what those are, right?
Absolutely.
And like we say, it's a wide array.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a widespread.
Yeah. And so the credit report obviously feeds the credit score.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it. What is put on that credit report determines what your score will be. It can go up and down. Maintaining the same credit score, that's important too.
Yeah.
You don't like it to fluctuate, often. So that's why it's important to know what it's made up of and how to maintain that.
Okay. So what would be the impact of your credit score?
So the impact, that's kind of, I like to say it's the cost of borrowing.
Okay.
So the impact of having a score.
Oh, is that Siri?
It is Siri.
Oh, no,
Siri's
Siri.
answering our questions.
Siri is not a paid actor, by the way. Siri is not a paid actor.
No.
She's supposed to be not in the show.
Not on.
But we appreciate her input.
The impact, ideally, is the cost of what it is to take out a loan.
Okay.
And that's your interest rate.
All right.
So the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate. So if you have a low score, you're paying a lot more to get that loan or credit card, whatever it is. You're paying a higher interest rate. So ultimately, it's going to cost you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, you could employment options are looked at. Housing options anymore. To get a mortgage. Credit's huge impact on getting a mortgage, as well as rent. A lot of landlords, they like to look at rent or your credit score to determine if you are going to be a good tenant.
Right.
So the cost and the impact of having a good credit score is crucial. You
Yes.
carry it through your whole life.
Yeah. However, and you made the example, a comparison of how it's like a report card.
Yeah.
So the difference is though, if you get a black mark on it, you can change that over the years.
You
So
can.
a credit report is something that you're able to change, affect differently over time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very easy to hurt your credit score, and I think that's what is discouraging to a lot of people. You could miss a payment one time, and that stays on there for years. It drops your score numerous points just by missing one payment. Having that 30-day mark on there really could affect you. However, life happens, and I
Right.
say that to a lot of people. You get busy, you forget the payment, it gets lost in the mail. Many reasons why it could happen. But ultimately, there's ways to make sure you don't have those things happen. And if it does, there's ways to build it back and really bounce back from any negative remarks that could have been made towards your credit.
Right. And off of the credit or the report card comparison again. So we're talking about the impact of a credit card or a credit report, and that being basically you're saying, kind of like a good example for students is, to get into college, a good report card is a thing, and to get more loans, houses, different things like that, car loans, everything like that, having a good credit report, a credit score
Right.
is basically like that as well.
Exactly.
So I like that. I love that example of that. It's like a report card.
Mhm.
I think that's key.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yep. And then next question is going to be, what is the range of the score? Because obviously we're talking numbers and all that kind of stuff. How low, how high can we go?
Sure. So as low as about 300. Sometimes, you can have no score. And I honestly like to consider no score worse than a bad score.
Right.
Having no score, there's really nothing to go off of. So a lot of times, we're looking at your score to, determine eligibility. And if there is no score, well, we have nothing to go from.
Right.
So as low as, 300s typically you could see. And it goes up to the highest is 850. It is ranked, so there is tiers. Generally 750 and higher is considered excellent.
Yep.
From that 700 mark to 750 is good. 640 to 700 is a fair amount. And then once you kind of get, below early 600s and below, it, tends to fall down, and that's not considered as, fair as some may like to have.
Yeah.
Or, that's where your eligibility can kind of, determine, why is the score that low.
Yeah.
But that also goes into what it's made from. So, 35% of your score is made up of payments. So payment history is crucial. Set up those auto payments, set reminders, really try to make sure you're making your payments on time, because those late payments really affect your credit score.
Yeah, auto payments is a huge one.
It's a huge thing.
I have some of those as well.
Yeah. Yep. It is. I have them too.
And that's something that's pretty easy as well. You go right into a branch, say here at Visions, go right in the branch, just say that you'd like to set that up for your loans or any payments you have. And that takes care of it right there. And that's not a difficult process either.
No,
not at all.
It's not.
Not at
I think
all.
the hardest part is making sure there's enough in there to cover what's coming
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
Just
Exactly.
remember it's coming, and that's
And in the end, it's a lot easier process to just have that
Yes.
automatically taken out than to have than to do the work to go in and manually get that paid off.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next important piece of your credit is your amount owed. So that's looking at a lot of times credit cards, lines of credit, and that's a unsecured loan, so there's no collateral behind this loan. And so they take a look at what your hey, you have say a $30,000 in credit card limit, and you're at 25,000 out of that 30,000 used. Well, your utilization is up real high. So that goes into consideration as far as, this is the amount of credit you have, how much are you using?
Right.
So if you have a lot of cards that are maxed out, that's going to negatively, bring down your credit score. So ideally, I'd like to tell everyone, try not to go, above half your limit on your cards. That kind of gives you a cushion, so you're not reaching where now your utilization is high. Now your score starts dropping because of that. And then the other is 15% of it is your length of credit history. So the longer, establishing credit and starting that first credit card, that is honestly going to be your healthiest trade line. You've had it the longest, you've made payments for years on time with this. A lot of people tend to say, well, I don't use this anymore, so I'm going to close it out.
Right.
So if you're closing out these trades that you've had for a long time, and you're going to see an impact if you close those out, because length really comes into play.
Absolutely.
That's really your root of your credit report, I like to say. So it's important to keep those open. The last three, is the impact. So I did the impact, the utilization, and then make up, different types of loans. So you got to have a good variety, not just credit cards. It's important to have an auto loan out there.
Right.
Get a personal loan. Some might have, student loans, credit cards. So a lot of different times they look at, how many different types of loans do you have?
Right.
So that's important as well.
So basically, don't be afraid to build credit.
Don't be afraid to build credit.
Don't be afraid to build credit. So in turn, don't be afraid of credit.
No.
Don't be afraid of credit. Don't be afraid of the credit score. And to get all that and to get a good one, you got to build credit.
Right. Exactly. And like I said, to build it, see if you can try to consolidate. If you can't consolidate, start paying things down. If you have whatever has your, the smallest balance, really try to eliminate that first.
Definitely.
Start paying down. So, to maintain it, you want to have as less debt as possible, payments on time, but don't stop using it.
No.
Don't stop using it. Use it for gas, groceries. These are things that you spend all the time, continuously use it, but maintain those good payment, maintain a healthy trade line.
And that's the word maintain.
Maintain.
You maintain all those things, and you will maintain a healthy credit score and healthy credit.
That's right.
So, Micah, do we have any big hitter questions out there? Not right now. No. Well, then I think that does it for our little Credit Live dollars and cents stream today. We really appreciate all of you tuning in. And be sure to share this. These are great tips and tricks and some great education out there for anybody that you know. Spread the word. We got Dollar and Cents coming back to you once again next month. Until then, have a great holiday. I'm Chano. This is Kayla. And we thank all of you. Big shout out. Happy birthday to Micah once again. And next month we will see you. And next month we're covering, I believe it is.
We're going to look at ways to make more money.
Ways to make more money.
That's right.
So make sure you tune in next month here on Dollars and Cents. Visions Federal Credit Union, thanks you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next month. Until then, have a great holiday. And remember, we're helping you make sense of your dollars.
And don't forget, your free annual credit report is available to you. Go right online to our website.
Oh, there you go.
And, check out your free credit report. Take a look. Make sure, there's unnecessary, changes. So that's an important thing, too.
So get on there, check that report.
Check your report.
That's a Vision's top tip right there. We'll leave you with that. We'll see you next month on Dollars and Cents. Thank you.
Thank you.